Hello, this is Lady Duchess. I had to put my glasses on so I could see. Yeah, take this off. Okay, so tonight I'm doing a video on why your spells don't work sometimes, why they do, what is the common factor that determines if your spells work or not. I am wearing a kimono. Okay, anyway. I'm like so fucking easily distracted at times. Okay, let me focus. So, why your spells don't work, curses, rituals, why they just don't pan out the way that you want them to, right? So, I made a list on why I think that what could be a determining factor. So get your pen and paper, write it down. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk about is the moon phase. Well, let's see the list first. The moon phase, the proper materials and supplies, the mental condition of the practitioner, the magical energy that you have built up by the practitioner, your belief in the magic you are working, and also, last but not least, the perfect proper spell. That was a lot. Y'all get that? Okay, so as I go down my list. Okay, so the moon phase. The proper moon phase is one of like the most essential keys in spell casting. The moon affects everything, and it can also affect like our mood and our actions. Y'all remember that Mercury retrograde? Whoa, I was so fucking glad that she was with. There are 4 phases to the moon: the new moon, the waxing moon, the full moon, and the waning moon. If I'm mispronouncing it or anything, please forgive me. This is the combination of accents. Okay, so each of these phases have there's a 7-day period, right, to do your work, your magical workings, depending on the phase, because that determines what you do and what you don't do. If you add these phases up, you can come up with 28 days lunar. Lunar. The time period for each phase is like 3 days before, 3 days after. This gives you plenty of time to kind of plan and do your spell casting. Not everyone can plan on doing magical work on like a certain day or something like that. So this is like an open window opportunity, like of those who have like really busy lives. Um, here is what the different phases normally are used in magic. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you my opinion, okay? The new moon. The new moon, this phase is very similar to the waning moon and is used to rid of oneself of things. So you might want to do like your lower frequency energy baneful magic type of spells during this time because it's ridding oneself of things. So separation spells, divorce spells, these are a good time to do those. Just my opinion. You don't have to follow it. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you my opinion. I mean, some of y'all get really upset with me for some of the things that I say, but you know, I do spells. I do spells for other people. So this is stuff that I have to do. I have to know this. And the reason why it's really important to me because if I give y'all the wrong information or if I'm not doing it at the right time, that's a major reason why the spell won't work. Okay? Moving forward. The waxy moon, this is like the phase for doing spells that might increase your gains, such as money, power, or other material things. So the waxy moon is good for money spells, success spells, prosperity spells, such as that. New job spells, new business spells, that type of thing. The full moon is the phase where most people do their important spells. Like for me, I think like love spells and stuff like that are best during the full moon. That's just my opinion. The proper materials and supplies. These are like very important, and you have to have the proper material. You might need herbs, colored candles, which white can be universal. I have taught that, so voodoo dolls if you need them, oils, of course, proper spell, and of course, a proper spell. The herbs and colored candles and oils, they're specific and they are associated with whatever particular type of spell that you're doing. In other words, they have vibrations, and that's related to what you're trying to accomplish. Um, for instance, if you're doing a love spell, you wouldn't want to use a green candle because a green candle really comes for money. So you would want to use a red candle. And if you were doing money spells, you wouldn't want to use a red candle because it's for money. I mean, for love, you want to use a red candle. I mean, a green candle. Shit, for yeah, green candle for money. You would also use like a white candle for like peace and lavender for like harmony. Um, I posted about like the different candle colors and stuff, but I can always like do that again. Also, something that you have to consider. You have to consider the mental condition of the practitioner. And just real quickly, this is important. You got to be in the right frame of mind. If you're not centered, you're not grounded, you're not focused, it's not going to work. Especially if you're trying to do like a love spell or something like that. You have to have the emotion for love. You have to project it in the universe in order for it to manifest. In other words, you can't be angry or depressed and doing a love spell. Not going to work. You have to think about that kind of stuff. The same goes for black magic. You must be worked up in rage or hateful filled emotions and stuff like that to do like baneful magic. You got to be in that particular mood, and sometimes that particular mood is a bad mood if you want to do some magic like that. Your mind has to be in sync with the type of spell that you're trying to do. Plus you must believe in your work and not have any doubts. You cannot have any doubts. I can't have any doubts. If I'm doing your work for you, you can't have any doubts either. That's a part of the process. That's the part of the work. You have to believe 110% that what you're thinking, what I'm doing for you, or if you're doing it for yourself, that 100% that this is going to work. There is no ifs and buts about it. There's no maybe. There's no maybe possibly. No, it's going to work 100%. Point blank, period. That's it. So you have to have an expectation from the work that you're doing. If you don't expect it, if you don't put that effort and that energy into it, you will get nothing from it. The experience of the practitioner. The person casting spells have to have experience or at least a good study and practice. The more you practice magic and do certain rituals, the more you will build up your knowledge of the occult and magic, and therefore it'll be more potent in your spells. Um, the magical energy that's built up in a practitioner. Again, they go back to what I say about what you're feeling. There's one way to add the potency of your spells and hexes. There are many different rituals according to what you believe in. So find the ones that suit your belief and go to work on them every day of your life, and you'll see the difference in the quality of your life and the potency of the magic that you're doing. The next thing is like your belief in the magic that you're working. You must believe in your magical workings. If you don't, how can you expect to have them to work? They're not going to go against your will. They're not going to do that, just to let you know. So you have to believe in yourself. And you got to be patient. And you must believe. You must believe. Okay, if you don't believe in the occult and the magic, then I suggest you stay away from it. I'm just gonna have to say it like that. Words to the wise. Magic is not a game or something that you just dabble with in and out and play with. Magic is really a way of life. Point blank period. I would tell anybody that, like, why are you doing it if you're not going to take it serious? It just doesn't make sense to me. The last thing is the proper spell. Some spells are just crap. They are out there, they're just crap, especially when you're Googling. Stop Googling these spells thinking that they're going to work. Y'all stop that, please. Please. Stop being cheap with your spell workers and your root workers and stuff like that. you know, most root workers have been doing this for a while, and they're not going to cheat you. I'm not going to speak bad on anybody that do spiritual work or that help people. I'm not going to do that because there are so many factors in why it is successful. There are so many factors in when it's not. But one thing I will tell you, and I don't care what you use, even though I'm saying all of this, you got to have a good spell. Like, you got to have the right spells. Some spells may work better than others. So you got to kind of experiment and keep a journal, in your book of shadows of your workings. And so you can figure out what's best for you and, which ones work, which ones don't. Also, just because a spell doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's not any good. You may have been in the right state of mind, but maybe you didn't have the proper materials. You know what I'm saying? All those things above come into play. Um, I'm gonna say this: if you are just starting to cast spells and stuff like that, start very small. I should have worn my wedding ring like and really just blinged it out. Like, hey, you start. But I actually took it off for the video because I didn't want to be like, and then when you do this, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, this is what I want y'all to know. Regardless of whatever that goes on, the power is within you. At the end of the day, it's within you. But if you want things to work, there is a multiplication and subtraction, and there's an equation that goes along with making the spell work. Again, if you are just starting out, that's what I'm saying, Lord. If you are just starting out, try to stay away from big stuff. Do money spells, do prosperity spells, do good little bitty stuff like that and see how it happens and practice on it and then work your way up to bigger things. I personally don't think if you haven't been in the magic community or if you have not been practicing magic for longer than I'm gonna say a year, I wouldn't do anything but like prosperity spells, money spells. I wouldn't even do love spells, no come to me spells, nothing like that. Only because even though you cannot manipulate another person's free will, you can. I hate to say the word manipulate, but you can influence it. So I want you guys to be careful, like especially no conjuring up deities and trying to get your ancestors. I wouldn't do that. If you want your spells to work, think about everything that I've said. If you want your spells to work and somebody else is doing it, like seriously, dogs, Prada, Lucy, like if you really want your stuff to work and you got somebody else doing it for you, you gotta have faith in what they're doing, like 100%. You have to do that. That is so necessary. I am Lady Duchess, Magical Lady Duchess, and this is my video on why your stuff works and why it don't. I mean, my thing is take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. I do spells. I do everything. Love, hexes, everything. And I have my reasons for doing it, and I don't have to explain myself to anybody. If you want to subscribe, please do. I love new subscribers. And I try to do a video at least every day or every other day or something like that. It just depends. Sometimes I might record 2 or 3 so I can kind of like space them out and help me out a little bit because sometimes I get really busy with my clients. So if you're interested, you can go online at www.magicalladyduchess.com. And that's Magickal Lady Duchess. That's all one word. That's also my email, magicalladyduchess@gmail.com. And it's magical, Magickal Lady Duchess at gmail.com. You can find me on Infinite Energy on Facebook, and you can also find my page, Dutch Young. So I love you guys. This is my video. Please comment, subscribe, like, share, and I'll try to keep giving you guys good quality, videos and work. Blessed be to you all, and you guys have a wonderful time in magic because that's what it's about. Bye.